Hello, this is High Templar with my Total War Warhammer multiplayer battles, and today we will be playing 4 versus 4, and I will be playing Beastman. And this is my pretty standard build for heroes I use a lot in the multiplayer. So this is Malagor Dark Omen with only Savage Dominion, then I have 2 Gorbals and the Bray Shaman of the Beast on the Chariot. I do love to use him in this way. I have 4 Ungor Hearts and I have 4 Ungor Spears, and I also have 2 Chaos Warhounds without poison, because they are very cheap. My friend Celester is bringing to the fight 2 units of Black Orcs on the flanks, which is unorthodox, but yeah, okay. Then we have 4 units of Savage Orcs in the center, 2 units of the Rusty Archers and Night Goblin Archers in the back, Vurzak, and the Goblin Wolf Riders. Very nice build indeed for this money, that is. And then we have some sturdy line of Orc Boys, the Grimgor Ironhide, which is surprising, the Crimson Killers, which is very good choice indeed. If you micromanage this unit correctly, it will have many kills. Then 2 Goblin Big Bosses, the Hammer of Gork, the Arachnarok Queen itself for the Greenskin player, and finally for the Crooked Moon player we have a line of Night Goblins, and then we have the Rusty Archers and 2 Night Goblin Archers. We have Night Goblin Shaman and Skarsnik, which is interesting, and then we have 4 units of Squeakheart. Very nice build except for those Night Goblins. I do not like those Night Goblins. I would pick something different, but that's my choice. Then we have in the back here, we have Bretonnian player who is actually brought for this battle, very interestingly, King Luen and 4 Pegasus Knights, and Paladin. And I think there is another Paladin here somewhere. No? Only one? Well, so interesting build for this player. And then we have here some spears, then we have halberds in the center, spears on the flanks, some handgunners, some crossbowmen, general of the empire, witch hunter interestingly, demigrave knights with halberds, very nice small army here, general bear on horse, I like that for this price. Here we have general of the empire on the Griffin, and this is with the support of the Bretonnia and the other and with the other Empire player. That is very nice pick indeed. They will have absolute superiority in the air. Here we have Luminarch of Hysh, then we have 2 units of handgunners and 2 units of crossbowmen, 3 units of spears and 3 units of swords in the back. And finally we have Dwarf player brought single unit of Thunderers and then 3 units of Quarrelers, and in the back he has Miners, Dwarf Warriors with great weapons, 2 units, and Longbeards. In the back he has Elklund Miners, the Lord, the Grudge Thrower and the Bolt Thrower. So that was pretty small funds, I believe that was medium funds. Let's just see. As you can see, this is not a very long battle, but we will have to go through it and stop it at some point. And we obviously, because those guys are the Empire and Dwarves, we are going forward. There is no trebuchets from Bretonnia, but apart from that, this is pretty much. And as you can see, this entire army, we will be focusing on this player. We will be ignoring this player at the beginning of the fight. We just want to take out this flank and turn to our enemies here, and we are hoping those guys will be actually at least tying up some of these units here, and we are hoping we will tie up some of the Bretonnian player units. That was a Vurzak shot after the General of the Empire. That was not very effective, but there was. I am being shot at from those archers, from those crossbowmen at the Gorbals, but the Gorbals have very good armor, I will retreat them for a moment. I just want to make sure they will not be focusing any other of my units that are, you know, more important. I already summoned Cygor, quite obviously, and I will be using a lot of magic as always when I'm playing Beastmen. Another fire from the Wurzak, but very little of anything. Those handgunners are focusing on the Malagor, but Malagor has no armor, so they are not really using anything to their benefits, and I am kind of putting him here for purpose because I don't want them to actually fire at more important units like Cygor. Here we have a very large flank to the dwarf player. They don't want to really face him front-wise. And also this player, as you can see, is already firing at me. And he will be focusing on the Cygor, because that's what I would do in this situation. Here we have very nice strong net that actually got my Gorbals, and that is very interesting indeed. As you can see, this continuous fire from those handgunners did not do much against Malagor. He has lots of health. Here we have Pegasus Knights caught those Goblin Wolf Riders, but I also casted here on all those units inside. So the handgunners and 2 units of halberds and this crossbowman and the Witch Hunter, I've casted Flock of Doom. This should be pretty effective indeed. Those guys are still focusing on my Lord, which is on extreme distance, and those guys won't do much against him. Another fire that went against Witch Hunter but didn't do much. And the Wurzak is being attacked by the General of the Empire, and my Shaman is being attacked by Paladin. Normally that would work very well indeed, but here we have archers firing into this guy. Another Flock of Doom, not very effective here. Here my units, two of my units of Warhounds have, and the units of Spears have chased down the Pegasus Knights. Let's see what's going on this flank. Here we have Black Orcs into the Black Orcs and the Savage Orcs, and my Ungor Herd into those Halberds and Spears. Those guys will be wrecked very, very rapidly. And here we have still going on the flanks. As you can see, this unit already, Hammer of Gork already 25 kills. I do not believe there is many kills on the Bolt Throwers, only 11, and 4 only on the Grudge Thrower. Grudge Thrower is going to be focused by the Hammer of Gork, which is not something I would do. There is plenty of better targets there. So I'm pouring down my units right here, this to go against those handgunners, as you can see here. Right now the Wurzak is being and my Shaman is being defended by those Ungor Herds, and I also pouring those spears and my Malagor the Dark Omen against those halberds, and I also putting in the Cygor, which is not the best choice but will do the job. There is no units that actually are not anti-large at this fight, and the Cygor is a summoned unit, so not that of a big deal. But as you can see, we are breaking here. Our enemy is breaking very, very rapidly. Here we have Fist of Gork, and here we go on my Ungor Spearmen, which will do a very quick work out of those halberds with this booth. And there is also Savage Orcs with, here we go, against those Spearmen. That would be very, very fast indeed. And here we have actually Flock of Doom that is targeted at this General of the Empire, Light Wizard, halberds and Spearmen. I do know that this was not the best choice, but I just wanted to break them quickly, and that seemed to be the best target indeed, because those guys were dead, pretty much dead already. Yes, I know the Flock of Doom is not doing much damage against the General, but is doing some. On this flank, still no real encounter here, and my Gorbals are finally going into the fray. They were fighting the general, you haven't seen that, they were fighting general once. And now the general of the Empire is going against Burzak, and my Gorbus are following him. As you can see, yeah. They went very closely. They were very close by here. Those guys, Pegasus Knights attacking those Night Goblin archers. But I do have spears here. I will support the other player. I have an attack here, a Demigryph, and I do attack here on the crossbows, and I do attack here on the handgunners with my Warhounds. But they are also fighting Demigryph's Knights, and they are also fighting a Paladin. So that would be pretty tough fight. Those spears are actually going after the Demigryph Knights. Here we started some exchange of fire. We have firing upon those troops right here, and here we have 2 units of Squeak fighting King Luen. That is not the best choice to use against Squeaks. Will go very quickly against the Pegasus Knights. That was a mistake to put them so far away from the support. Right, here we have some more magic, some more skills that will be buffing us up pretty quickly indeed. As you can see, my guys are... So, my Warhounds are already wavering, but as you can see, those guys are being tied down and they are losing pretty badly. This Witch Hunter is already broken by those Warhounds, and my spears are going against those Demigryphs. Here I have the other units of spears going against those Pegasus Knights, and they will basically fix those guys into position or make a scarecrow for those Pegasus Knights. My Shaman is going into the fray, I believe, yes. And my Gorbus have destroyed those halberds pretty fast. I am being pelted upon by the handgunners here, but I don't really care. These are my chaff units, and they are there to go. Those quick herds were absolutely destroyed by the Pegasus Knights. This is not a very good exchange for this, but Luen is getting somewhat damaged here. And here we have Arachnarok Queen into those units. Very nice indeed, very nice. And there is preparation for Crimson Killers to come into the fight as well. On this flank, as you can see, everything is broken down because of our attacks. Here is my units of spears running, tying those guys away, and this units of spears tying away those Demigryph Knights and Pegasus Knights. So pretty bad situation for this player here. And some fire from those arrows scaring away this guy here. I am charging my units, I am supporting with these spears against the Paladin and the Pegasus Knights, and also destroying completely this unit of handgunners. Unfortunately, my spears have decided to change that. And that was a Luminarch of Hysh, absolutely tying down my... getting my Cygor on his back. That is something I need to work on very quickly indeed. Those Black Orcs are being pelted down by those handgunners. This is not a very good... this is very bad actually. I would prefer for them to fire at my Ungor herds. This guy is still not engaged in anything pretty much. He's starting to engage. He's starting to put his units on this flank, but this flank is a pretty bad situation. Leonker is still tied down by those Night Goblins and Squeak Hoppers, and there is also those Night Goblin Archers that are coming quickly. Pegasus Knights, and this is Skarsnik, I believe, or Night Goblin Shaman actually, who will be pretty good deterrent against Pegasus Knights on this flank. Those guys are already routing, so they should be back. And here we have a Ragnarok Queen into this Lord and into those Dwarf Warriors, and also Spider Hatchlings going after the Quarrelers, and the Crimson Killers absolutely destroying the Dwarf line with the Goblin Big Boss to support them. This is absolute disaster for the Dwarf player. Here we have some firing upon those guys. They don't have the best of armors. As you can see, I am trying to tie down those Pegasus Knights with my spears once more. Focusing this guy again, going into the handgunners. He will have very nice kills indeed. My Cygars, my Gorbals are being attacked by the handgunners right now, but we are already charging against this enemy because that guy is pretty much collapsed. So yeah, still have some running into those halberds. Some my Gorbals are coming into the back of those halberds, and I have actually summoned a Feral Manticore right now by this guy. So right now there won't be possible to see that after the battle, but my Cygar already have 29 kills and he's tanked a lot of damage, which would put some other unit into... it would be attacked, some other unit will have to pay for it. And here we have Manticore going against those guys and making them run. Not yet, but against Demigryphs Knights. I did wanted to make them run, I did wanted to support my units, and I don't really care about health of this particular unit. However, I should be going against crossbowmen instead. And I'm spotting my mistake and doing exactly that. And my shaman is charging after another unit of handgunners, I believe. Here we have a charge into the thick of the enemies right here. There is some spearmen against my Ungor, but there is also some handgunners. My Gorbals went against swordmen, not to put him against spears, quite obviously. And there are also my Sargar going against those guys. Some more Ungor, some Gorbals, and Gorbals actually were tied down. They were actually targeting the Luminarch of Hysh. Here we have some Orc boys attacking from the flank, the crossbowmen. There is already 87 kills on those artillery pieces here. The Spider Hatchling doing pretty well against Squallers, surprisingly well, actually. The King Luen finally destroyed by those Night Goblin Shaman, Night Goblins, and the Squeakers, pretty surprisingly, but he is winning. And those the Rusty Arrows are being attacked by Pegasus Knights, and this is very, very bad for them. But it seems that we are getting upper hand on this flank also. The Crimson Killer 63 kills, the Grimgor Arrowhide 18 kills so far, but it will rack up, and the Arachnor Queen 45. Not that many, but this is against the dwarves. Not very elite dwarves, mind you, but dwarves. My Chaos Warhounds and my Malagor Darkomen finally running away from all this fighting. There is no kills on this guy. Supporting here, Gorbals into the Luminarch of Hysh because I got tired of it. Those guys tying us down right here cannot do anything about it. The General of the Empire will be focusing Malagor the Darkomen, who will die. This Bray Shaman has managed to rout these handgunners again, but there is some kind of reaction right here. As you can see, I am trying to chase down those enemy units, but there are still some people alive here. And yes, this is the end of the Malagor himself. Not now? Okay. He's being ignored right now. But those Savage Orcs are fighting against this general. Wurzak is coming in. As I can see, my Gorbals are absolutely destroying those guys. Here, my other Gorbal into the Thunderers, and this is breaking up the enemy pretty badly indeed. And on this flank, the enemy is managing to actually rout some units and final days of the Malagor. He only have 81 health on him, not much more, and being attacked in the back, and he's dead. Here we are running after all those guys. Bray Shaman actually out of mana, but he had summoned Manticores and I'm making sure those guys are indeed running away. There will be not routing back. On this flank we still have some fighting, but not very much. everything here is routed. Again, the Luminarch of Hirsch being attacked by my Goblin, and we are cleaning up everything here, as you can see. There are still some units that might go back, those units for example, but we are chasing after them here. And those handgunners, there is still this general of the Empire, but he got another magic missile from the Wurzak, and he is not going to like it. And this is the end, the close victory for us. Let's just see the skills, I mean the kills, the numbers and the rest. So surprisingly, my Ungur Spearmen did pretty well in this combat, going against these Pegasus Knights and also going against regular infantry. 99 kill on the Brave Shaman himself. The Malagor Dark Omen didn't get many kills. Surprisingly, Gorbals also didn't get that many kills, but the Manticore and the Cygor also had quite some kills, so that was pretty nice indeed. And I actually didn't lose that many units. Out of 1400, I only lost not even 500. So for the Celestir, enormous kills on the Savage Orcs, but this is something you would expect. Not many kills on those Black Orcs, they were quite focused, and not many kills on those Goblins, but you need to remember that those guys were actually fighting mostly Pegasus Knights. Very nice kills on the Lumi. Actually, let's go through the other guys first to finish that. Very nice kills actually on the Night Goblins. I'm very much surprised, they did very well indeed. Squeak Hearts, more than I suspected they will. Skarsnik did okay, but in general that was pretty nice fight for the Goblins. Go Goblins, they were against Dwarves and they did pretty well indeed. I was not suspect that. And then we have Greenskins with 100 kills on the Hammer of Gork, 100 on the Ragnarok kill, and 100 of 12 on those Crimson Killers. Very nice indeed. Decent kills on those Orc Boys, decent kills on the Grimgor, and the Goblin Big Bosses were probably fighting some heroes. On our enemy sides we have quite nice kills. For this one, from this is the guy that was in the center, right? From what I see. Pretty nice kills on those handgunners. Some of them were on the Ungurs, but some of them were on the Black Orcs. Very nice kills on the Luminarch. Must have been targeting Black Orcs or something. And the general of the Empire was also targeting some heroes, and the Wurzak wasn't able to kill him in the end, but pretty nice performance. Very bad performance on Spears, but what else you would expect. And those Swordmen pretty much got into the fight at the last moment, and they couldn't stand against the forces, against the Gorbals and everything. The Dwarf player did pretty badly. He brought those Dwarves with great weapons who did pretty well, but the Aircraft Miners did very badly. The Longbeards did pretty badly, and the Quellerers did very, very badly indeed. Very bad kills on the Grudge Tower, but I believe he was focused by the other catapult, and the other catapult, being rank 9, was much more accurate. So, don't really get the bolt throwers, but if I would have that bolt thrower, I would be focusing the Ragnarok Spider, which didn't got that many health. That would be pretty big target. If you would use that correctly, you could have taken down quite a number of those of the health on this one. Then we have this guy, and this guy did amazing, as you can see. Those are amazing kills. True, most of them were against archers. But some of them were killing when fighting against Squeaks, and there is only 40 in the herd, and he did amazingly well. So amazing kills on this guy, and he was doing a very good support, micromanaging this pretty well. I was on my toes all the time trying to get my spearmen to face this guy. And finally we have this Empire player who was facing us at the very beginning, and as you can see, those halberds did very, very badly, but the Demigryph Knights and the handgunners did pretty well. And this is it. I hope you like it. If you did, press like, comment if you will, and see my other videos. I do mechanics videos and Let's Plays in Total War series and other games, and I also do DLC analysis and speculation videos. So, thank you for watching, and see you later.